Today's guest will be behind the bench of the brand new DCB Lumberjacks women's hockey team. Joining me now, it's Reed Loucks, getting ready to go with the DCB women's hockey team. He's the head coach, and it is a brand new program. Very exciting stuff. But before we get to that, first, Reed, let's talk about your Lumberjacks career. What made you want to be a part of the Bottineau hockey community from 2012 to 2014?
Honestly, any kid's dream. I guess I can't speak for any kid, but me personally, growing up, you just want to continue to play hockey, and you're gonna go wherever it takes you. And fortunately enough, Bottineau was really close to home for me. It's also a small town, just like my hometown, Melita. And I had a couple friends that came here and played, so I knew the area well, I knew the team well, got to meet the coach well, and just everything kind of fell in place after that. So it was kind of a home away from home, I guess you could say.
What was the hockey scene like in your little hometown in Manitoba there?
Oh, Melita that's a hockey town. That's a farming community. Always hockey growing up. Everyone plays hockey. Growing up there in Melita, we had a small community rink, but it was perfect. I mean, it's one of those older rinks we had growing up. The ice was always good, always cold in there, so you know you're going to have good ice. Every age group had a team, both men's, women's, girls, boys. Sometimes you even had age groups where you had to split two teams up because there were so many kids playing. It was just a great community, great support. It was an awesome place to grow up and play hockey, that's for sure.
That's fantastic. So once you get to Bottineau, what would you consider like the biggest success that you guys had as a team, and then maybe you individually as well?
I think the biggest success we had as a team, I know our stats didn't really show it, but we really clicked together as a team. We had a lot of good guys. Every team has issues. Unfortunately, we ran into some really tough teams. There was a lot of good teams in our league and around our area, so we were always trying to play our best. But I met some great guys from all over the world, and just personally, I think you just become a better hockey player when you put yourself in a situation where you have to play against better people. I think that just makes you better as an individual.
What was it like playing for a friend of the show, Travis Rybchinski?
River's a great coach. I mean, the guy's a great recruit. He knows what he's doing back there. I mean, obviously, just like every coach, some guys have their tempers, and River had a bit of a temper, but he had every right to be mad in some situations. The guys aren't listening and stuff like that, but as far as playing for him goes, I loved it. We got along well. We've seen eye to eye on a lot of things, but there was the odd time we didn't see eye to eye. But we figured a way around it, and now being able to work side by side with him, it's kind of like a blast from the past, but in a different perspective.
Another blast from the past here for you. You have the puck on your stick. You're heading in one-on-one. How many times out of 10 do you score on Ryan Miner?
I don't know. I haven't shot on Miner for a while, but if I'm getting 10 attempts one-on-one against Ryan Miner, I bet you I'd give myself 500. I think I could score 5 out of 10 on him. If I could get inside his head early enough, maybe 6. But Miner's a great goalie, and he could always stand on his head. And a guy like that, he's got a competitive edge, and he's going to try harder against his buddies. You know that.
Oh, absolutely. So does maybe a situation help Reed Loucks or Ryan Miner better, say, if you're doing the 10 shots and just at the end of a practice and everybody's giving each other crap? Or what if, like, you were in a breakaway in a heated game against him? Do you think you'll do better in one situation versus the other?
I think so. I mean, a game situation is always different than practice. Practice, you're always willing to try something crazy. You know, you want to try those NHL dangles or something like that. But in a game situation, you're going to do what you can do best to score. So you might just always relate to what you're comfortable with. So I think I would probably be better in a game situation than I would in practice against them.
All right, so going from your playing situation to your coaching situation, how much did the Bottineau community want to have a women's hockey team alongside the men's?
I mean, this community, they thrive around hockey. They love hockey. The whole community does. So I've heard nothing but great things and seen nothing but great support from the whole community. They supported the men's team all the way through when I was playing here, and I still see it today as an employee here. And I know that they were all pushing for the women's team to come here, and now that it's here, I'm hoping that we can see a lot of the same support that the men get.
Your position that you have now probably has a lot to do with you liking Botno, I would guess. But perhaps even independently of that, what made you want to be a head coach?
I mean, I love the game of hockey. I live and breathe hockey. I dream about hockey, but at the same time, I was a teacher for 2 years back home in Canada, and just working with younger people, the younger generation it's a passion of mine. I mean, being able to share your knowledge of any kind, whether it's hockey or school related, I think it's a blessing for sure to be able to pass things on to the younger generation, and I have people to thank for that myself. Growing up like my parents, my dad teaching me everything I know about hockey, and then your older friends, just the people the friends you make, being able to pass on all that knowledge, it's a blessing in disguise, that's for sure.
How is the women's game different from the men's from your coaching perspective now? And what are you going to have to prepare for when it comes to just a different type of hockey?
I think one thing I'm going to have to adapt to is definitely I won't say the difference in zero contact, but definitely no contact or very little contact that the women's game has. I mean, they're obviously going to be aggressive, and I hope to have a team that plays aggressively. But at the same time, I mean, that's going to be one big difference is you're not going to have people running each other over. But I'm hoping to keep that same aggressive behavior. Another thing I think would be just some size differences. I mean, playing in college myself, I was a smaller person. I still am a smaller person, so I had to adapt to playing against guys that were twice my size. And I mean, and the women are a bit smaller than the men, but of course you're going to play other teams that might have some bigger women. But I think for the most part you're going to see a lot of similar sizes when it comes to women's hockey.
A big thing when the news broke about you getting this job, Reed, was you were telling me for the news that I'm excited to be a part of Botno hockey because of the history of Botno hockey. And besides, obviously, you guys' illustrious time playing when you were there, what history besides that is there when it comes to Lumberjacks hockey that you can't wait to add to?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the men's team, they can speak for themselves with their track record under Travis Rybchinski and Corey Gorder. Those are two great coaches, great program here, and with their history of winning, with the amount of championships they won, you can kind of hope that we correlate around that a little bit. And I mean, locally, there's a lot of talent that comes out of this town locally that might not even be related to the college itself per se. I know three kids off the top of my mind from Botno just because I know them personally. I was fortunate enough to play with Seth Derienko, who played here for a couple seasons and then transferred to Iowa State University, and that's Division III, and he was a great player there. Another couple players, like you probably know the names, Cody Longy and Harrison Hayes, two great players locally from here. They actually played with Botno later than I did. But there's a lot of history in this town for hockey and a lot of big names and good people, so I'm hoping that we can kind of keep that name up.
All right, so again, as we embark on this new adventure for you guys, tell me, what is your recruiting pitch that you're telling these players to come out to Botno for? What do you like about the girls that have committed right now and are ready to go this season? And speaking of this season, what makes you think that you guys can be an immediately competitive team in the level you'll be in, which is ACHA Division II?
I think our recruiting at this school is second to none. We have some great coaches here and people in the community that have great connections all over the country. I'll even say a lot of us have great connections in Canada, and us being as close to the border as we are, and being a junior college that's very affordable is definitely one of the recruiting pitches that we like to throw out quite a bit. I mean, being this close to the border, unfortunately this year it doesn't do us any good with COVID rules and not being able to travel back home. But a lot of players from local areas such as Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, they like to come play here because they're not getting too far away from home, but they're still getting that great college hockey experience.
Yeah, it's a fantastic experience. From what I've heard, okay? I haven't put up on the skates, but from what I've heard, it seems like everybody has an awesome time, and it's a great sporting community overall, whether it's hockey or the local things down in Minot or Bottineau. Hey, wishing you guys all the best in your first campaign. Hope you light it up right away, and thanks for the time, Reed.
Thank you. I appreciate it.